This is AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. See, we're here for Frank Warren's card Saturday night at BT Sport. First time I'm joined by Paddy Donovan. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Thanks for asking.
And obviously not the first time I'm joined by Andy Lee. We had our Zoom call during lockdown. How's life been since then, Andy? All good?
Good. Glad to see boxing starting to come back, and very grateful that Paddy gets an opportunity to fight on what I think is the biggest card since lockdown's come back. And good place for Paddy to get a lot of exposure, because obviously with Frampton and Conlon fighting, there'll be a lot of Irish tuned in, and they'll get to see hopefully the next Irish star in action.
Let me come to you first, Andy. Why is he going to be the next superstar?
You got to be careful what you say, you know. Because
you know, a big hitter.
Yeah. But he has all the talent, I think. The ability, he can punch hard. And that's the big difference as well from a lot of fighters coming out of the amateurs. One thing that stood out from Paddy, even as an amateur, he had a lot of knockouts. And he's got a good ground. He's got a good foundation. His dad's done a good job with him since he was a child, training him. And he's won everything. He's beaten everybody. He's 166 amateur fights, 161 wins, world silver medalist, European champion, everything. So, look, with that type of talent, there's more reasons for him to make it than there are for him not to make it. So he's got to keep his feet in the ground, keep working hard, and there's a lot of things he can improve on. So we'll just keep working.
Obviously, you've got the skill. Your amateur record speaks for yourself. Top ranking are involved. That again speaks for itself. Aside from in the ring, what makes you believe that you'll make it to the top in terms of your mentality and other things?
Yeah, well, I believe I'm good enough. I believe I have the skill. I believe I have the attitude right now. I'm training very well. I'm listening to Andy, and I have the best team in the business with Top Rank and Andy managing me and coaching me. So I couldn't ask for more. And I know I've got what it takes. I have the skill. I'll have the attitude, and I'll put in the hard work. I keep listening to Andy and keep learning. And I keep improving. And I'll be a world champion.
Of course, it's a big opportunity because we've been starved of sport for so long. I know boxing's been back for a couple of weeks now, but there will be a lot of people tuning in to BT on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I want to be. These are the shows I want to be at. You know what I mean? These big platforms, and people at home get to see me and get to see my talent and get to follow my career.
Andy, what's it like working with him day in day out?
It's obviously he's always so accomplished as an amateur. You don't have to really break him down and build him from the ground up. We're just improving things that he already does. And they're always, when you're so accomplished, and with Paddy, I don't know, he's never had to work extremely hard to be successful. He's always just done his training, gone in there and beaten everybody, you know. And that's basically, so he has to realise that this is a different level now. This is the next step up, that you have to live the life as well as do the work in the gym. And that's so important for how you live your life outside of the gym. So look, that he does that anyway, thankfully. So it's just about just stimulating him and keep coming up with new ways to things, that because he already does a lot of things very well, and you don't want to take away all those good things either. So he's got to come up with new ways and just to fine tune small things. And look, a lot of it is done in the fights in terms of getting experience, which is a huge thing that he'll pick up now over the next couple of years, and then when it's ready, we'll start stepping him up and fighting like meaningful fights. But all of these fights are meaningful because he's learning as he goes.
I'll ask you the same question, Paddy. What's it like working with Andy?
As Andy said, you know what I mean, there's a lot of things we can work on, a lot of things I can improve on, become a better fighter. I know I've talent. I'm very talented. I know what I can do. But as you get working with Andy, he showed me these little things, correcting these little things, the mistakes I'm making to make me a better fighter. And as he said, more fights I get under my belt, more training I get with Andy, a better fighter I'm going to become.
What's the one thing that impresses you the most about Paddy?
The first thing you notice is his power. When you hold the pads and he's hitting them, it's a different experience from a lot of the fighters I've trained or worked with or even felt. You know, you're kind of bracing yourself as well because of the impact and the power he has. You know, I'm telling you, it's you're seeing these fights so far. Anyone look at his first fight and his second fight and his third fight, you just see the power he has and that. But he's evasive, he's tricky, he's flashy, and he's got, well, I don't want to be saying it. Okay. He's a good fighter, and he'll do well. That's it, okay?
I think we get the picture.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, a massive thing to have Top Rank on board so early on your career. I mean, people dream of having that chance. You've got it so early.
Yeah, it's brilliant having Top Rank. As I said, I think they're the best promotional boxing group in the world at the moment. And again with Andy and both of them together, I believe I can achieve a lot of things in boxing.
How was your experience in Las Vegas?
It was brilliant,
for
absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it was great to be out there. As I said, training alongside Tyson Fury and guys like that, and Andy being part of the team and bringing me on and showing me how they do it out there and the way they train and the way the proper pros live their life. And you know what I mean, they're things I want to be aiming for and be fighting in Madison Square Garden and what's it called?
MGM.
The MGM, yeah. So places like that, that's where I want to be fighting at.
Absolutely. Welterweight's always been a glamorous division.
It's been very good.
Do you think you'll stay around at welterweight for a
Well,
long
I'm
time?
making the weight extremely easy now, you know what I mean? So for now, I'm going to stay at welter, but we'll see how it goes down the line.
I mean, Ireland has produced so many big names, obviously one sitting next to you right here, but I think it's fair to say they're craving someone at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I hope to be the person they're craving, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of good fighters coming through, and as I said, there's a lot of good fighters coming through, and I'm one of them. I'm glad to be one of them, and if I keep improving and keep listening to Andy, I'll be the next star.
Andy, as his manager, do you think it'll be difficult not to fast track him too quickly?
Yeah, it's a fine balance because he can hold up with his talent, but there's no substitute for experience. And I think serving your time, serving your apprentices, but it's a fine balance because you don't want to let him get stale or become, get comfortable. You have to keep challenging him. So it is. It's a tough job. But look, in terms of matchmaking, Bruce Trampler, Top Rank, is the best, and Bruce looks over all his opponents and gives the final approval. So yeah, it's like he's got a lot of benefits, a lot of things that I didn't have, and so he's benefiting from all of my experience in terms of going from day one. He's had the best promoter, Top Rank, on him, so giving him that support and then he has the benefits which I had with Emmanuel going into these camps with, like, for me it was Klitschko with Emmanuel training. Now he's getting to be with Tyson and Paddy, and so look, it's just experience. A year and a half, another year, like 2 years time, he'll be 12-0, and then we can start stepping him up. He'll still only be 23 years old, and welterweight's probably reached their peak at 27, so there's plenty of time for him. 28, 27. But yeah, our first training camp together, we flew to Adam Booth's gym and he sparred with Josh Kelly, and Josh Kelly was obviously is one of the hottest. I don't know if you can call him a prospect, but he's one of the hottest properties in boxing. And Paddy, we haven't even really trained together, but Paddy held his own from day one. So we'll go back and spar Josh again. There'll be a good benchmark to see where we are. But Josh is a great fighter.
You a big boxing fan? Do you get inspiration from many fighters?
Yeah, well, obviously I'm looking at a lot of fighters in videos and stuff and studying boxers, you know what I mean, and I'm learning bits from all the good fighters and trying to put it into me to become one good fighter.
That sounds like a good plan, to be honest. Got any names in particular?
Andy. And there's some
You watched Terence Crawford, don't you?
Terence Crawford,
You met him, yeah.
I met him, yeah.
If Crawford ever fights Pacquiao, Paddy should be the #1 sparring partner. That would be a great experience.
We were told I'll get on that trip, you know what I mean, out there sparring and hopefully on the undercard.
I'm sure Top Rank can make that happen, yeah. Definitely. Alright, well listen Paddy, it's good to meet you firstly. Best of luck this Saturday night. I'm sure you'll fly through, and look forward to your future with Andy and Top Rank, alright?
Thank you very much.
First of many interviews with you.
Definitely. Thank you.